Is it true that there's no evidence for God? You know, many atheists assert that there's no evidence for God as their stated reason for their unbelief. But stating that something does not exist does not really prove that it doesn't exist. It only proves that this particular person does not know at that time whether it does exist. There's many things in the universe which people have no knowledge of or have taken the time to really discover. A lack of knowledge only proves the ignorance of the person, not whether anything is true. So we must ask, what really constitutes evidence for God? One must wonder what level of evidence the atheist has set for themselves as proof necessary to demonstrate the existence of God. Certainly it's possible to place the bar so high that no amount of evidence can ever meet these demands. In practical matters, we all trust in things that concern life and death with far less evidence than most atheists require for God's existence. There's many things that we don't take the time to seek proof for, but we still believe in them and we put our trust in them. Take, for example, most people go to a doctor and they trust that he knows what he's talking about strictly because he says he's a doctor. The problem is, I've never known anyone who's actually investigated whether a particular doctor really went to medical school or is genuinely board certified to give medical advice, to prescribe drugs, or to perform surgery. Sometimes we look at their license on the wall and we even read the words. But have we ever done any research to find out if that certificate is in fact genuine and this person that we're trusting with our life is actually a real doctor? I don't think so. I've never known anyone who's done this. This is a matter of extreme importance, yet we just seem to assume that because he's in a nice office, he has doctor's equipment, he sounds and he looks like a doctor, he must be a doctor. Unfortunately, these are not empirical evidences which fully validates that this person is really a doctor. We just take it on faith and we trust him. There's numerous stories of doctors who have these nice offices and all the right equipment. They look and sound like a doctor, they have a license on the wall, but they're frauds. They were just pretending to be a doctor. Conversely, I know many atheists who believe theoretical physicists when they say that our universe is really very easy to explain with all of its physical constants that are fine-tuned to make life possible because it was caused by another universe. It all sounds very scientific, and because these persons have a PhD after their names, people assume that they know what they're talking about. The problem is that very few people actually check out their stories to discover if what they're saying is really true. I have, in both the sciences and with other scholars, I've checked out these things. I've written books exposing their fraudulent conclusions, which are based on non-scientific evidence that really cannot be proven. There's a very good reason that the late Stephen Hawking never won a Nobel Prize. His works, although they sound marvelous, they're only mathematical calculations that exist on paper, but they cannot be scientifically tested, observed, or proven. In order to win a Nobel Prize, you must be able to scientifically prove your theories, and Hawking, unfortunately, never could. The multiverse is one of the biggest frauds ever put forth as proof for a naturally occurring universe. My point is that you are likely relying upon evidence that you think proves the universe exists by a natural process, which cannot be scientifically proven. The actual science of the universe that has been proven is that our cosmos exists by intelligence, not by mere happenstance. The universe either caused itself or it was caused. Since we know for certain that it did not cause itself, then it was caused. If it was caused, it requires an intelligence that is transcendent time, space, and matter. As we live in a universe that cannot be proven by any naturally occurring process, The only logical remaining conclusion is that the universe exists because it was caused. Number one, science cannot prove that our universe originated because of another universe. Number two, science cannot prove that there was anything prior to our universe. Number three, logically, an eternal duration of past when nothing existed, when time, space, and matter suddenly came into existence, is evidence of a transcendent action. Number four, science does prove that from minus 430th of a second at the commencement of the universe, forces necessary to ensure a universe fit for life were controlled to exact a specific outcome. Number five, the universe which causes our earth to support human life, it exists because of hundreds of fine-tuned constants. Number six, any attribute which exists that contains a precise setting requires an intelligence to make this adjustment. Number seven, gravity and electromagnetism are balanced so precisely that any change plus or minus 1 in 10 to the 40th and all life will cease. Number 8, every atom in the universe is precisely balanced by its electron and proton differential of 1 to 1,836, yet it maintains the exact same electrical charge. Any adjustment by 1 part in 100 billion and every atom in the universe comes apart. Number 9, the distribution of matter at the commencement of the universe was placed precisely, not chaotically, as scientists would have expected. This specific distribution of matter was necessary to ensure first and second generation stars. Without second generation stars, life would never have existed on Earth. Number 10, the distribution of matter could not have occurred by accident, and this is scientific evidence of an intelligence at work and not any natural process. Number 11, the universe began by an extreme state of low entropy, which is impossible in an explosion of matter of the magnitude that we observe in the beginning of our universe. What should have existed at that time was extreme chaos. The existence of order is really scientific evidence of intelligence that was acting upon forces which took place. Number 12, these essential settings for life were made instantaneously at less than 1 second, indicating that they were purposeful decisions and not accidents. Number 13, there are no natural forces in the universe which make precise settings the first time. Number 14, the very nature of evolution is based upon billions of errors until a success is found. Number 15, our universe exists not because of billions of errors and subsequent successes over billions of years, but because of precise settings during the first picosecond of the universe. Number 16, this is only possible by intelligence. Number 17, since the universe bears evidence of intelligence, this proves that a mind is responsible for all that exists and not mere chance. Now, the source of this information is from my 2 books, How Intelligence Acted Upon the Universe, The Observable Facts of Science, and also my 2nd book, A Universe from God, The True Source of the Cosmos. There is scientific evidence for God. The problem is that people are not educated in these matters, and they assume that things that they have read by other atheists are true when they are in fact not true. Very few atheists have done any personal work in researching the evidence which does exist to prove that God is a certainty. When we investigate their education, we find that they accumulate information only, in most cases, from other atheists. If this is our approach to knowledge, then we're never going to know the truth about anything. It's only when the search is sincere in its desire for truth, and it begins with an unbiased and open mind, that the true facts of any search can be discovered. If we will be intellectually honest, we must be willing to follow the facts to their natural conclusion, even if they disagree with our personal bias. This is what I did myself at the beginning of my own search 40 years ago. Any person who will do this will discover that the only scientific proof that can be demonstrated for the source of the universe is that it came into existence and continues to exist because of intelligence that has acted upon it to make life possible. Get out there, do your own research. Don't accept any information from anybody until you look at it yourself and you verify it.